So I went on a movie date last night with my wife, and we got to see After Death. So After Death is a docuseries movie created by Angel Studios in which people shared their near-death experience. They died, clinically was dead, and came back to life. And now in the docuseries, they were sharing their experiences. And there was so much different abundance of people sharing their death experience. But also for me, I've been more curious about death for the past couple of years after experiencing the death of my father 3 years ago. I got curious about what happens when you transition on. What happened to my father? What happened to my sister who transitioned on a year ago? But also this thing called death is an inevitable thing that we each are going to experience, no matter who you are. If you're watching this, death is coming closer and closer moment by moment. And it's something that doesn't really get talked about, but it's something inevitably it happens whenever it's meant to happen. So with me getting curious about it, I started watching more docuseries and more YouTube videos of people sharing their near-death experience. And it's pretty amazing how people shared some pretty unique, amazing experiences, but also a lot of this was different than what I've been taught. So I grew up in religion, and I was taught when you die, you're going to experience judgment. And from that judgment, there's either two things are going to happen. You're either going to go to heaven or you're going to go to hell. And this is something I've been taught. And these near-death experiences, the reason why it resonated with me so much, because even at that age of being taught that, I thought there was something else to it. There was something more to it than what I've been taught. So why not hear from people who were clinically dead, share their experience of what happened when they transitioned on and when they came back. It was some profound things. And I recommend you actually to watch that video because it helps to shift your perspective about death, because it's part of this process of us going through this. Now, honestly, for me, I'm more on a spiritual path. So like I look at those things from a spiritual perspective, meaning death is inevitable. Whenever it happens, it's meant to happen. But then also when it happens, it's not like, oh my God, you're going to be thrown somewhere to be punished forever. But also some people shared experiences in which they did experience punishment. They did experience going to this place of torment type of thing. But from that near-death experience, they actually were able to get out of it. But most of the people was sharing these beautiful experiences. They got to experience a life review their life. They got to see how they affected other people with what they did, the ripple effects of what caused them, either positively or negatively. They got to feel the emotions that people felt for the things that done to them. And for some people, it's very intense to actually feel that, but it helped them to shift their perspective when it came back of how to treat others, how to treat themselves. But through that, and it was called a life review, they didn't experience judgment from this creator of, oh, you did this wrong and now you're going to go forever. No, it helped them to actually review their life, to see it from a different perspective, to see how they impacted others, but then also they have an opportunity now coming back to do things different, be different. But the creator didn't judge them. The creator just loved them. It really helps you. And this is what really helped me as well from listening to near-death experiences, that actually had me more at peace with my sister transitioning on and my father transitioning on. I know that one, they are in a much better place. All these people who went there, they didn't want to come back because of the love that they felt, the peace that they felt, the connectedness that they felt, and they felt at home. And that's exactly what happened with my sister and my father. They just went home. The home that each and every one of us are going to go to whenever we inevitably transition on. But the lesson as well with the ripple effects that you cause to people, but also with this creator that doesn't judge us, but we're going to review the stuff that we've done. We're going to take a look at the way that we impacted others. We're going to feel that. And even one person in the docuseries said if more people actually realize that of the impact that they cause to people, but also the fact that whatever you're doing to others, you're going to feel that magnified through your life review and things like that, you probably start treating people more better. But then also the connectedness of all of us being one, the oneness and things like that. It was beautiful to do that, but also beautiful to shift my perspective about death, due to the fact of me being curious about it with my sister transitioning on and my father transitioning on. So I wanted to share that because of the fact, like, it's an amazing, amazing docuseries. And I don't care what you believe in. There was atheists who shared their story. There was Buddhists who shared their story. There's people in religion who shared their story. There's one person who was atheist, and from their experience, they got to experience Christ, and now they are a Christian. It doesn't matter. I feel like it doesn't matter what you believe in as well. It's the essence of what you believe in. But at the end of the day, when we transition on, it is a graduation. It's not a judgment. It's a review for what you've done. And from that review, you get to go through the process of learning your lessons, just like life. Has you at peace, but also the fact of those close to you who transition on as well, they're good. So I highly recommend it. The docu-series called After Death. It's in the theaters right now. I'm not even being promoting them and things like that, but really, for those of you who are curious to hear about death, why not hear from people who actually experience death, hear their journey, and from that, it definitely helps to shift your perspective around this, because it's different than what people are teaching you based upon a word or information, but more so people sharing their personal experience with it to help you to change your perspective around this thing called death. Isn't something to be afraid of. It's something to embrace because it's part of our spiritual journey of all of us being here. Inevitably, we're here being born. Inevitably, we will transition on whenever we transition on. I love you infinitely. Stay connected.